dog.
What's up, boy? Where you at?
When you see me, dog,
I'm on my way.
you're gonna see my dog.
Hey guys, Richard here, and today we're going to be taking a look at animated storytime channels. For those who don't know, animated storytime channels are these YouTube channels that make totally real stories from the totally radical youth. The biggest animated storytime channel was this channel called Actually Happened, but it looks like it died the death it deserved. Now the biggest animated storytime channel is this channel called My Story Animated. The animation style looks the same for all these channels, so they're probably owned by the same people or company or whatever. Another thing is these channels are obviously fake. I got stuck with Justin Bieber in the elevator. Yeah, I'm sure you fucking did, pal. Anyways, today we're going to be taking a look at I Locked My Crush in My Closet for Years. So let's see what this bitch has to say.
Hi there, my name is May.
Hi, May.
And today for My Story Animated, I'm going to tell you the bizarre story of how I hid my boyfriend in my closet for 5 years. Things weren't meant to be like that, but they escalated way too fast and I lost control. You want to hear my story? It all started on my very first day of college. I was anxious to see Jerome because he was my boyfriend and he'd disappeared all summer. I tried to contact him several times with no luck, and I was really worried. As I waited for him and realized that he wasn't going to show up, I met Sarah. I was in the middle of a crisis and she got near me and comforted me. We became friends really quickly. I told her about Jerome and she couldn't believe what a jerk he'd been. She got really mad at him and told me that I shouldn't let it go.
Yeah, fuck Jerome. He could be dealing with some serious shit right now. But the only obvious conclusion is that he's intentionally ghosting you.
That no one should make me suffer like that. I was mostly sad, but throughout the following days, Sarah helped me turn my sadness into anger and then into thirst for revenge. I was so mad at him. How could he do that to me? How could he disappear like that and make me feel so insignificant?
Yeah, that bitch crazy. Yeah, I know, that bitch crazy.
A couple of days later, Jerome appeared out of the blue in college and said, "Surprise!" I was walking through the hall and thank God Sarah was with me, because I was suddenly filled with mixed emotions. Jerome hugged me and I stood still like a statue. I didn't know what to do. He then said he was late for class, but was hoping to see me afterwards, and he left. I was stunned.
I mean, he obviously missed you. If he was really ghosting you, wouldn't he be trying to ignore you? Girls, am I right?
Sarah immediately told me to be strong. She said he was not worthy of me, that I was too much of a woman for him. I wasn't so sure, but as she kept on talking and talking in my ear, I became more and more convinced. Then she said she would make a plan for revenge. She suggested that I invite him over to my place that night. She would hide in my bedroom and wait for us, and then help me to lock him in my closet.
That bitch crazy.
I wasn't so sure about the plan at first, but I was so blind with hate that I finally agreed. So I waited for Jerome at the end of the day and asked him to come home with me. He hugged me again and told me that he really missed me all this time, and that he would come. Sarah had warned me about his lies, so I kept myself together and didn't buy them.
Yeah, there are so many red flags right here. Hugging you, saying he missed you, these are obvious signs. He's probably cheating on you or something.
Missed me? Right. Missed me so much that he could send me one message in the entire summer?
That is literally the most white girl thing I've ever heard. I don't want to play the "that bitch crazy" clip anymore because I personally think that would get repetitive, but that bitch is still crazy.
What a liar! We got home and before I could open the door, he was already kissing me. But I didn't fall for that one either. Thanks to my chats with my new friend, I was stronger now. I turned on the music and started dancing for him. I took a rope and tied his hands behind his back. He laughed. He had no idea what was waiting for him. I covered his eyes with a piece of black cloth and then told Sarah she could come out. He couldn't see anything, but I heard him say, "What? Who's Sarah?" We grabbed him and forced him to sit down on a chair inside my closet.
Hey, what are you doing?
Get in my closet, you bitch.
"May, what's going on?" he said. I replied, "You disappeared from my life for 3 months. Now my life is all you'll see for the next 3 months." Sarah laughed. I slammed the closet door, already feeling better with our revenge plan.
If Jerome or whatever the fuck his name was did this to you, you'd be on here talking about how he was an abusive little shit, which he would have been, which also makes you an abusive little shit.
But things didn't go as I planned. 1 minute after I locked him down, someone rang my bell. Jerome started to shout, so I opened the closet door and put a sock in his mouth. I closed the door again, and I turned up the music volume. When I opened the door, a couple of classmates were there, and as they heard the music, they invited themselves in with beers. They started dancing, so I had to play along. Jerome continued to make noise, and I got really worried. I told everyone that my dog was a bit anxious and that we should take the party outside. We continued dancing and drinking, although I was getting more and more nervous. After a couple of hours, I saw in the distance that someone was running away with their hands tied. Sarah came quickly and told me that Jerome had escaped. I told my classmates I was sorry, but I had to leave. And as they kept on partying on the street, I rushed with Sarah after Jerome. I shouted his name and he turned into an alley. I called for him again, and when he turned around, he tripped and fell into a bag of trash. I got closer and saw that a broken glass had hurt him. I lifted him up, but he resisted. I told him that if I didn't help him, no one would find him in that alley, and he would get an infection. We got back inside my house. I sat him again on the chair inside the closet and covered his eyes again. As I was preparing the bandage, Sarah walked around the room really angry. She said to me, "You see? He's a liar of the worst kind. He said he was having fun, and at the first opportunity he had, he tried to run away." Sarah's words were hurtful, but that didn't mean they weren't true. As I cleaned Jerome's wounds, he kept on feeding me with lies. He said that he was sorry, but that during the summer he was at some retreat and couldn't communicate with me. Yeah, right. No Wi-Fi in 3 months? Sure.
Remember, she's locking him in her closet because he didn't talk to her for the entire summer. All of this for not being able to talk to your boyfriend. We don't even know why he wasn't talking to you yet.
He was such a liar. He even told me that I knew about it. What a jerk, trying to make it sound like it was my fault. Sarah was right from the beginning. She was the only one I could count on. As Jerome continued to talk more lies, I got tired of him and put a sock in his mouth. I went to college on the next day, but I was too anxious to pay attention. Sarah was saying that it was not a good idea to leave Jerome alone at home. He would probably try to escape again. So I rushed home, but I was relieved as I saw he was still there. But Sarah was right. It was a bad idea to leave home. I stayed home the following days, eating the last amount of food I had until I had to leave to go to the groceries. Sarah kept on repeating it was a bad idea, but I had no choice. I would make it quick and rush back home. As I was at the groceries, I saw a policeman and freaked out. Sarah said she heard him talking on the radio about a suspicious woman, and I filled the description. I started to sweat. I grabbed a few more things, almost threw the money to the cashier, and ran out. The police started to follow us, so we started to run faster. As I saw he was still behind us, Sarah said we couldn't go back home or else he would find Jerome. So she pointed at the alley close to home where Jerome fell, and we hid there. The police looked around for a while, but then went away.
Here's some more proof that this is hella fake. How the fuck would the cop not notice them?
I sighed and we went back home. Sarah said that this situation was getting more and more dangerous, and that we shouldn't leave the house again. Jerome was getting weaker since I only fed him a small amount of food. He'd stopped asking for forgiveness, and now he started to beg for mercy. Good. I asked for mercy for 3 months, and you never gave me any. Now suck it up, dog! Sarah laughed hard when I called him a dog.
How is ignoring someone and holding someone hostage even comparable, you little cunt?
And she said it was the best description for him. He was a dog, and he should be fed like one. So, as I was scared to go out again, I started to order food online. I also ordered dog food and fed Jerome with it. He was so hungry, he ate it without question. After the first 3 months passed, I was ready to let him go. It was fair enough. He suffered already as much as I did. But Sarah told me it was not a good idea. He would go straight to the police, and I would definitely go to jail. Jerome promised me he wouldn't tell anyone anything. But how could I believe his words? He'd been nothing but a liar. And he deserved to pay. So I kept him for another couple of months, and then months turned into years. I got used to my new routine. I didn't have to go outside. Everything I needed, I ordered it online. And Sarah was the best friend ever. She stood by my side all the time.
Wait. That's
What the
not
fuck?
how things happened. Hi, I'm Jerome, and I'm here to tell you the real story of how I was the true victim here. I was contacted by My Story Animated to tell my side of the story.
So this is obviously just an attempt to make the video longer, because they never did this kind of thing before. Jerome just goes on to tell the same fucking story, except he says Sarah wasn't real and that his girlfriend is in prison now. So yeah, that was pretty awful. Be sure to like and subscribe. Peace.
Good. I asked for mercy for 3 months, and you never gave me any. Now suck it up, dog!